Hey, what's going on, guys? Another episode here. This is on March 9th, 2025. The Democrats are pissed at Gavin Newsom as Gavin Newsom turns towards the next election. Your next Democrat president. No, just kidding. But he is going to run, I believe. So the rumor has it. Man, let's get started.
Listen to what Gavin Newsom said. He was on a podcast with Charlie Kirk, who works for iHeart.
Wait, Gavin Newsom's the host, right?
Gavin Newsom
has his new podcast.
Oh, it's Gavin Newsom's podcast.
Yes.
Oh, so he was interviewing Charlie Kirk. Forgive me.
Right.
All right, so Gavin Newsom is the governor of California. They're talking about fairness in women's sports. Is it fair for a trans female to play in women's sports? Listen to this.
You right now should come out and be like, you know what? The young man who's about to win the state championship in the long jump in female sports,
Right.
that shouldn't happen. You as the governor.
So women fought for women's rights for years, and now they want men back into women's sports to take over men. So then you have all men at the top. So you have no women's rights anymore. So why don't we just have trans sports? You know, if you want to be trans, then why don't you have trans sports? So you don't have men beating up on women or men going into women's bathrooms or men doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Why don't we just have trans sports?
Governor should step out and say no.
No, and I appreciate and
I mean, what if Mike Tyson decided that he wanted to be a woman and beat up on another woman? Because he's trans.
But like, would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree
Sorry, that didn't make sense. I apologize.
with you on that. So that's easy to call out the unfairness of that.
So Gavin values winning more than anything. He will change to win. The problem that he has not calculated, and he's normally a tactician when it comes to his party has not moved on. He's trying to move on to the general election. Right. If this is the Gavin Newsom that has become moderate now, which I don't believe, it's all for politics, he won't win a Democratic primary, and you don't have to take my word for it. Brian, just look at the
Hey, Democrats, how many times are you going to vote for this guy in the primary?
action from the Democrats.
It's unbelievable. And I will say this is how insincere it is. He hasn't changed one thing.
No.
He's gone to bat for trans men in women's sports and made sure it stood there. So he makes this,
right.
By the way, he couched it by saying, I have great compassion.
Changed it
If you don't
too.
let him play, they'll commit suicide. But I agree with you, Charlie,
hate that
which is totally not true. So Lori Lightfoot, I know you forgot about her, but I'll bring her back just for this moment. She says it's disgusting. There are kids waking up today in California with this news thinking that their governor hates them, and rightly so. As Charlie Kirk says, Politico has not one, not two, but 5 reporters covering the fallout of Gavin Newsom's comments about men and women's sports. But there's even more. Ro Khanna, who many people point to as somebody, a voice of reason on the left.
Basically,
Democrat from California said.
using children. You shouldn't be doing that, Lori Lightfoot. You shouldn't be doing that, that's for sure. Keep children out of politics.
This is a moment for Democrats to stand for the dignity of the trans community, the immigrant community, and the most vulnerable. Here are my thoughts.
He should end with women suck, right?
All he said was it's not fair because men are stronger, and you have a biological man who is playing against a woman. There are.
This guy against her at anything. Let's just say boxing. This man against this woman, let's just say anything. Arm wrestling.
So many examples of girls that have been hit by the volleyball, that have lost their scholarships because a biological male has taken it from them. So he's not saying he's anti-trans. And a lot of people who are against this because of fairness are not anti-trans. It's just they're saying it's not fair for my little girl to lose her scholarship to someone who is biologically stronger. And so if you read the New York Times, the Ipsos poll back in January found the vast majority of Americans, this is why Gavin Newsom is smart if he wants to win an election.
Right.
The vast majority of Americans, including most Democrats, do not think that trans athletes should compete in women's sports. They polled.
I'm one of them. I don't believe any man should be in women's sports at all, ever. They can have trans teams. What's wrong with that? That's why not. I'm for the whole trans league.
2,128 people, 79% said biological men should not participate in women's sports. 67% of Democrats agreed with that, and 94% of Republicans. The trans girl community makes up a very small percentage of our population.
And
I think it'd be great. You get like LeBron James, a bunch of other NBA stars become trans. That'd be a heck of a basketball team.
Before we move on and talk about the most extreme statement ever, Cynthia Slavin, the mom of one of the girls who filed a lawsuit against Riverside, this is all California Unified School District, for this very reason, because there's one her daughter playing against sports. She said when she heard about these comments, goes, what's truly unfair that he has the power to do something about this issue, but doesn't. Talk is cheap. Take action. Do something. By him not taking action or trying to come up with a plan, he's aimed to the division and tension in our state. So, of course, he's not out of power. He could change in California in a second, but he just wants to get along. Please see through the hair gel.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know a lot of Californians that are not mad because their state's basically going to hell. Do I have any Californians in the house? Let me know what you think about California. Do you guys need change out there? Or I'm just curious. I've been out to California through an I-5 there, but never really stayed long. Pretty expensive.
Democrats have a leader right now in the House, and it's Hakeem Jeffries. He didn't know what to make of it. This is his comments.
I want to ask about California Governor Gavin Newsom's comments saying that Democrats were in the wrong for allowing transgender athletes to compete in female and girls sports. What is your response to that after Democrats had opposed the women and girls in sports?
I haven't seen
He doesn't know.
his comments. What Democrats opposed was unleashing.
Hey, Doge, D-O-G-E, Elon, why don't you go check this guy out?
Sexual predators on girls throughout the United States of America.
What?
What do you say?
Was unleashing sexual predators on girls throughout the United States of America.
What? What does that even mean? I'm not even understanding what he's trying to connect.
He's just trying to pivot. He doesn't want
America.
The women and girls in sports.
I haven't seen his comments. What Democrats opposed was unleashing sexual predators on girls throughout the United States of America.
How do we know this?
What? What does that even mean? I'm not even understanding what he's trying to
He's just trying to
right here.
pivot. He doesn't want to answer the
he's trying to get
question.
away from
I mean,
this.
it's really not that complicated. Guys can't be with the girls. They can't be I mean, I remember when I was in school.
How hard is that? If you want to do trans, by all means, knock yourself out. We'll have the little trans team, women's team, men's team. It's not hard. It's pretty damn simple, really.
And I played basketball, and there were certain rules because of Title IX. And the girls had to get the court some of the days, and the guys got the court some of the. You could not discriminate. and we would say, okay, we got a state championship. It did not matter. You had to protect the individuality of the girls and the guys. And the Democrats used to lead on this issue, and now they're taking a back seat.
But you know what he's alluding to? That there's genital inspections to make sure you're the right gender when you compete. Nobody has said that in that act that was passed, the protection of women.
It's not said one time, not once. But that's what your liberal talking heads are saying to you. You can think all you want, but it's not true. Let's just go back again.
You're the right gender when you compete. Nobody has said that in that act that was passed, the protection of women and girls in sports act.
Is that what he means by unleashing sexual predators?
That's what he thinks. He thinks that there's a bunch of school gym teachers who are going to be saying, drop your pants.
No,
are you crazy?
No, the guys are already.
Nobody has said that in that act that was passed. That there's genital inspections to make sure you're the right gender when you compete. No.
Whoa, where's your receipts? I know the Democrats are yelling right now. Where's your receipts? Fox News don't have no receipts. They're checking my daughter's genitals, son genitals. You guys are fucking, excuse my language. It's crazy. Crazy.
Nobody has said that in that act that was passed, the protection of women and girls in sports act.
Is that what he means by unleashing sexual predators?
That's what he thinks. He thinks that there's a bunch of school gym teachers who are going to be saying, drop your pants. No, are you crazy?
No, the guys are already dropping their pants in front of the girls. That's what's happening.
The locker room.
Did you hear?
We're talking about.
I mean, I'm seriously. This will happen. What's the young lady name?
Riley Gaines.
Riley Gaines talked about it yesterday. That one of the most traumatic parts about it was they were in the swim locker room, and you had a guy that was undressing in front of the girls. They said they were so uncomfortable.
They were in the broom closet.
And the mom in Virginia who took her little girl into the locker room to change.
You guys understand what's going on? I know I got some people in here that, oh, this is okay, this is okay. It's time to get your head checked.
After they were swimming at the school's swimming pool.
It's called child abuse. Maybe you should get your kids.
And they go into the
away.
locker room, and there's that guy who has the crazy mugshot with the long hair.
Crazy.
He was exposed, totally exposed in
way.
there, and there were a bunch of little girls, and her daughter's 9 years old.
Right. So this is it's one of the most insane retorts to controversy. By the way, there was only 51 senators who voted for this act. It failed the day before the president's address to the nation. So keep in mind, every Democrat, including John Fetterman, is for having trans men and women sports. So
including the women in the
protection
pink.
of women and.
There was only 51 senators who voted for this act. It failed the day before the president's address to the nation. So keep in mind, every Democrat, including John Fetterman, is not for.
Every Democrat voted against it. And don't say that it says anything about checking your child's genitals to see if it's a boy or a girl.
And you had a guy that was undressing in front of the girls. They said they were
saying, drop your pants. In that act that was passed.
It doesn't say anywhere.
The protection of women and girls in sports act. Is that what he means
by unleashing sexual predators?
That's what he thinks. He thinks that there's a bunch of school gym teachers who are going to be saying, drop your pants. No, are you crazy?
No, the guys are already dropping their pants in front of the girls.
In that act.
Guys. And the Democrats used to lead on it. And we would say, okay, we got a state champion. Now they're taking a back seat.
But you know what he's alluding to? That there's genital inspections to make sure you're the right gender when you compete. Nobody has said that in that act that was passed, the protection of women and girls in sports act. Is that what he means
by unleashing sexual predators?
That's what he thinks. He thinks that there's a bunch of school gym teachers who are going to be saying, drop your pants. No, are you crazy?
No, the guys are already dropping their pants.
For the president's address to the nation. So keep in mind, every Democrat, including John Fetterman, is for having.
Even John Fetterman from Pennsylvania voted against it. All Democrats voted against it. That's disgusting.
Trans men and women sports. So
including the women in the pink.
The Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act that was passed in January.
So as of right now, I believe, thanks Donald Trump for doing that, for being the man you are. and doing an executive order because the House and Senate cannot get past their homophobic tendencies and vote for this. Republicans and Democrats.
January, it was 218 to 206.
In the House, but it failed in the Senate. Good controversy. By the way, there was
that last part one more time again.
It was 218 to 206.
In the House, but it failed in the Senate.
It failed in the Senate. I would suggest getting a hold of your senators in the Senate, and then do what you can do. To me, it's disgusting. It's a sad day for the kids. Gonna have crazy stuff, man. Crazy world we live in, guys. All right, guys. I appreciate it. It went on for about 15 minutes. Would you guys drop a like and subscribe to the channel? That would be awesome. I'm going to make some more videos tomorrow, and I appreciate it. Get a hold of your senators, guys. We definitely need to pass that for the kids. All right, guys. We'll see you next time, and thanks for stopping by. Thank you.